We're on the top of Nun Beis Omid Beis. V'lo karoi l'gmalin. And the kisui was not strong enough to withstand the weight of the camels. And the camels went over this kisui and weakened it. Now, if our Mishnah is talking about a case of shchich gmalim, where there are, the camels are commonplace, is Amai Potter, why should he not be held responsible for negligence, Poshea, who is negligent, even with regard to Shvarim, because he should have entertained the possibility that the camels would come and weaken the kisui, and therefore even a shar would fall in. If there's no gmalim around to be had, is pshita onusu, then it's a din poshut that Balabar is potter on Shvarim, because he was honest. He didn't have to entertain the possibility, anticipate that camels would go by and weaken the kisu. Elalav, it must be in the middle, somewhere between the two polar extremes, the Asian leprokim, that occasionally, once a month or so, we have the camels going by, v'yasu gmalim v'arua, and now the gmalim came by, they weakened the kisui, the asu shvarm, and then subsequently shvarm came in aflu bay, and they fell in to the bar. Uktani potter. Alma, we see, came into hashta leka onusu. Right now there are no gmalim, and we don't require him and expect of him to entertain the possibility that gmalim would come by, and therefore he's onus and he's potter. The Gemara rejects this proof. Amri, right, in the base measures they said the following: Lo, you don't have to interpret the Mishnah in that way. Olam, I could go back and insist that the Mishnah is that his kisi was karoi l'shvarm and karoi l'gmal. Udukakasha lehechi nafel. How did the camel fall if it was a perfectly good shmira? And the answer is Amar Yitzchak bar Chana, as we saw in Amud Aleph, shesliya mitocho, that the bugs, the termites, got inside the wood of the kisui, and you couldn't see it on the outside, but the kisui was getting very weak, and therefore, when the animal came by, it broke this weak kisui, and the animal fell into the bar. Bala bar is an onus. He did not have to, we don't require of him to anticipate that the kisui would become weaker based on termites. He's not aware of termites. Therefore, he's put. But the Gemara now would like to refer to the Sefer of the Mishnah, and perhaps from that we could be posted this suffix. Toshma, Loki so karoi, v'nafal l'socho shorach hamor meis chayim. Hechidomi, what's the case that he did not do a proper kisui and therefore he's chayim? Elam, if you're going to tell me it's a case of lo karoi l'shvarm, lo karoi l'gmalim, the kisui was not even strong enough to withstand the weight of the oxen. Is pshita. Tzrich l'meimar. Tzrich l'meimar the chayv. Do you have to tell me that he's chayv for such a thing? I mean, this is really a pshia. There's no beginning of a valid kisui, of a meaningful kisui. Elalav, we're going to have to assume karoi l'shvarim v'lo karoi l'gmalim, that the kisui was strong enough to withstand the weight of the oxen, but not the weight of the camels. Heichidami, I don't get it. Either shchichi gemalim, if the gemalim are there and they're commonplace, is poshea, he's a poshea. So I don't need a chiddush here to tell me he's chayim. V'either lo shchichi gemalim, if there are no gemalim to be found, then onusu. He did the best he could do. He created a kisui that would protect against the falling of shvarim, and we're not expecting him to entertain the possibility that gemalim would come. Elolav the asin leprokim v'asu gmalim v'erua v'asu shvarim v'naflu be. The case is that that camels show up periodically, not regularly, but from time to time. And in this case, actually, Gemalim came by and they weakened the kisui in such a way that the shar fell into the bar and died. uktani, and yet the Tana says about the Balabar chayav. Alma given the Asyon leprokim poshehu teika leila sukedat diboy leila sukedaite. That the Tana holds that he's chayav, meaning that he has to, we require of him to anticipate the possibility that Kamala might come. Because Asyon leprokim. So the Gemara now rejects this proof is not reliable. Why? Let's go back to the original interpretation that the Mishnah is talking about a kisui, which was fit to protect against the weight of shvarim, but not against the weight of gemalim, and there are plenty of gemalim around. They're commonplace. Udukah kashalach. And you asked me a kasha pshita dechayev? Because he's a posher. Aidi de nosiv reisha kiso karoi, nosiv seifa nami lo kiso karoi. So this is what we call agav. Now, agav, that at the beginning of his words, he quotes a case of a kiso karoi, so in the seifa also, although he's on a different channel, namely the vibes here are in favor of certainly considering him a poshea, because if Kamala Mashkiach, then a kisu shalo roy ligmalim is certainly a pshia. So l'chor it's pashut. So the answer is I think that also reisha kisoy karoi nasiv seifanavi lo kisoy karoi. So agav that in the beginning of the Mishnah he brings down kisoy karoi, so he brings down in the Sefer the opposite case of lo kisoy karoi. Ikadamri. There were those who offered a different approach. Hanami vade lo iboilim. I'm going to assume that even a kisa that's not royally gemalim, and the gemalim come around once in a while, on that situation, it's posh. Came at the asya leprokim poshea, the boile asuke dait. We expect of him to anticipate, or at least consider the possibility that the camels are going to come and be makalkel the mixer, and then the shvarim are going to fall in.